John Avenger once again, and welcome to another live commentary. This is of finally I'm doing the 2006 thriller starring Harrison Ford, Firewall. Yeah, this is outstanding. A taut, intelligent action thriller. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one because I did 16 blocks already. This is an hour and 50 some minutes. Let me see, an hour and 45 minutes. So let's get started. So. I haven't seen this movie in a while, so I saw this movie in back in the 2000s at in my apartment. Yeah, Paul Bettany's the villain here. But this is before he did the MCU. And Harrison Ford's a boss in everything he's in. Richard Loncraine, he directed this. Firewall. Virginia Madsen, yeah, this is another film she's done that I enjoy. Mary Lynn Roscoe, Robert Patrick, yeah, he's in the film too. Carly Schroeder. Jimmy Bennett, yeah, he was in Hostage. And Robert Forster, may he rest in peace. And also Alan Arkin, another actor, may he rest in peace as well. Sorry, I just got up, but I want to do this now. This is actually longer than 16 blocks by 3 minutes. Written by Joe Forte. Directed by Richard Loncraine. Hold on. Get so much congestion. There's a dog in the movie too. Carly Schroeder, she looks like Joey King. Yeah, she retired from acting and became like a, I think she's in the military now. He still has a great voice. I don't deserve you. Yeah. Every movie I've seen Harrison Ford in, he never gives a bad performance. He's just one of those actors that I love watching. Not just because of Star Wars, but other stuff he's done. The Fugitive and Air Force One and the 2 Jack Ryan movies he did. Yeah. Just, he's a boss. Mm-hmm. That shot. This is before Taken came out, also, so a few years before Taken. The city. I like to do these podcasts because, again, I'm not scared of anything after the year I've had. I need to put some. Gotta use some nasal spray. Get that snot out of my body. The woman from 24. I first saw her in Road Trip. She was a blind chick with a dog. Right about now, Bobby. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry, I put a nasal spray up my nose. Because I have congestion. The weather's changing, and winter's starting in in another week and a half is winter. Yeah. Next Saturday is winter. The winter solstice. Yeah, look, it's the Indian dude from, he was in Ultimate Christmas Present. He was a cook. He's Canadian. Mm. Mm-hmm. It's a good-looking film, too. And this did not cost $200 million. There's Robert Forster. I miss him a lot. There he is, Robert Patrick. He's not the villain here because he was playing the villain in the Marine with John Cena. Ugh. Better put some more thing on my nose. I hope I'm not bleeding. Mm-hmm. I miss these actors a lot, man. The actors that are no longer with us. Forster and Alan Arkin. They were good actors in Legends. And good people. They weren't like controversial actors that constantly got arrested. At least this movie doesn't have an annoying British chicken bothering him. Cause this is better than Dial of Destiny. It's an hour shorter. It's got only one Brit in it, and he's the main villain. Not an annoying sidekick. and it's got better action, and it doesn't have a bunch of CGI in it. That I'll say that's better. $95,000. Somebody's been stealing his money. And this is not a comedy like Hollywood Homicide was. This one's way more serious. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of hackers out there. You got to be careful. It's good. There's a build-up before you get to the abduction. There's Vision. I mean, usually they cast a Brit. He's gonna be the bad guy. We all know that. My sister met him at Comic-Con. Him and Elizabeth Olsen. So yep. The pizza guys are they're kidnappers. It's funny how calm Paul Bettany's voice is, and yet he's a villain in this movie. I mean, come on, he's faking an American accent. That's why I don't open the door for anybody unless I know who they are. I got cameras in my house. I got cameras and lights that'll keep intruders out. And I have a dog, so. He looks like Vision in his human form in WandaVision and Infinity War. Yeah. I've met one Marvel actor so far, and that's Catherine Newton, who was in Quantumania. She'll be back. Plus, she's the youngest. Yeah, of course, the accent slips out. Yeah. Why do they always do that? These worthless bentos do a fake accent, and then they like, oh, by the way, I'm British. Yeah, I'm not gonna be fooled anymore. I said to hell with them in 2025. I told Josh, you know why? Because I had a traumatic experience. You didn't. I know COVID was bad for everybody. Everybody got screwed by that, but in 2015, before COVID, I had a traumatic experience. That's why I don't like Bintos. That's why 90% of them I wish would never act again. If they stood behind a camera, maybe, but acting is not their strongest suit. Bettany is only good because, again, he's been in the MCU and his voice is kind of cool, but other actors, not so much. It's we're 16 minutes in. We got another hour and change, so it's not 2 hours. I wanted to choose movies that are under 2 hours so I could get this done. I got up at 6 this morning because, the heat in my house was blasting. Ford's in the MCU too because he's going to be in Captain America. I'm not expecting the world out of it, guys. I just want an entertaining movie with a new Captain America. That's all. If people like, I miss Chris Evans, I know, but we saw him in Deadpool and Wolverine, so that was a good enough cameo for me. Playing another character that he played first before he was Captain America. This film has a great score. It's shot well, and critics were not even happy about this film, saying it was typical. I'm like, it's entertaining, and it put me at the edge of my seat. This never happened to me. No, my family, thank goodness, was never abducted by anybody. But that's only because we're a very safe family. We keep our doors locked whenever we're here or we leave. I never leave the front door open. No, hell no. I don't want anybody stealing my stuff. Or my dog, or anybody else. Hey, heterosexual guy, good morning. This kicks the crap out of some of the action movies that we got today. Yeah, it does, because it has tension. It's not just a CGI fest or over 2.5 hours. You don't need to be that long. This director knows how to edit a movie. Yeah, Ford's great in this movie. Ford, even in his old age, can act better than Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who couldn't act her way out of a box. Plus, Paul Bettany was not a good villain in Solo because he's barely in the movie. He had like a bunch of scars on his face and a husband. And don't worry, I'm not doing any podcasts next year with any Brits in January. Anything I'll do, it will be Asian or something else. Or Canadian. Because that way I know there won't be any stupid accents in it. Because I can't go through this again, guys. Yeah, he is. Paul Bettany's super chilled in real life. He's played some sinister characters. He's going to be the White Vision in Vision Quest, which is coming out, I think, next year or in 2026. Actors are not like they're not as sinister as they are in the real life. Put this up a little bit. There we go. I don't know why actors complain about like doing franchises, and they're like, I used to do Shakespeare on Broadway or on in plays in England or something. I'm like, yeah, but it's still acting. You're still playing a character. Not everything needs to be deep. Heather Stevens never did Shakespeare, and she was a great act. She was a good actress, and I'm still enchanted by her, and she hasn't acted in 10 years. That's right. This movie, I think, is a better version than Panic Room because Panic Room is too long, and I don't like the two leads. I'm sorry. It's a good movie with really good action, and it's got tension like this movie, and it's rated R. But and Jared Leto was actually intimidating in the film, but you don't need two leads that are in the LGB. It just takes me out of the film. At that time, we didn't know, but Foster and freaking Kristen Stewart, their performances are not bad, but personally, I don't like them. Just personally, guys, because I'm a heterosexual man. They're not interested in me. Also, this movie has no diversity in it. You know how nowadays everything has to be black and white? Now it's just a mostly white cast. Because again, this was 2006. 16 Blocks had, Mos Def, but he sounds like Mike Tyson in it. You don't have to force diversity. It should be included naturally, organically, not forced. Red. Kids. And these kid actors are good as well, especially Jimmy Bennett. He's an adult now. Because Hostage, that's another one I want to do. It's with Bruce Willis. It's similar to this, except it's R. And Ben Foster is the main villain, not Paul Bettany. I'll probably do that one at the end of December. I gotta find it. I like movies that have tension, that are supposed to be, serious, not comedies. Not when a movie's tense and then they have to break the jinx with a bad joke or something like that. That's what they did in Man of Steel. It's so serious, and they're like, "Oh, I think he's hot," and that's not funny. Supposed to break the tension, but no. Deadpool and Wolverine did that much better, or something like Infinity War, Endgame, where they put comedy where it fits. It doesn't. They don't force it. I need some water. Hold on. Gotta stay hydrated. Gotta stay hydrated in this long, not long podcast, but mostly long podcast. It's been a rough week. Like the first week of December was not that easy for me. Just because I did podcasts doesn't mean my life wasn't, I didn't have any issues. I've had a pain in my neck, like in the back of my spine for the last couple of days. It's just a sprain. I'll be okay. I just got to put some cream on it later. I got a sunburn, and I had a lot of stress. So, but I'm doing this for you guys because I like to do podcasts on a Sunday if when I'm not here alone. For work. Yeah, all of their faces. I haven't cut myself shaving on my chin. I gotta be careful when I shave later. Where's Andy? Pancakes. Oil. But the fight scene at the end is really cool. I bet this was going to be Rutger Hauer because he worked with Harrison Ford in Blade Runner. I thought that would have been better, but hey, he was old at the time. Work. Yeah, I don't say work. I say work. I don't go, "Wah," I don't talk like that. Like my tongue is on fire or something. I'm sorry, just not my thing. I don't want to hear that accent in January 1st of 2025. I want to see Asian stuff. Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Godzilla. Even the Gamera movies that I haven't seen in a while, like the original, I haven't seen that in years. So it's time to go back to that. Because I saw all the Japanese versions of Barugan all the way to the Super Monster, and it was terrible. Some of those movies, even not dubbed, were boring, man, and had way too much stock footage. Not all of them, like two or three of them kind of sucked, but excuse me. That's crazy. He has a POV shot. I need 5 minutes. At least today, I won't be as stressed out as I was last Sunday. Because last Sunday, I had to do a lot of work. Today, I only have to just throw out the garbage in the recycle. That's about it. And to throw out the leaves. Because, it in New York City, it actually, the leaves fall a lot. And I live near two giant trees. One of them is blocking my Wi-Fi connection. That's why I've been doing podcasts on this phone instead of my laptop, because that stupid tree. That's why I've had Wi-Fi trouble, guys, this year. This is more of a thriller. Family kidnapped, no police. Don't call me. This guy's on the computer too. Now you could just use a cell, whip it out, and text somebody to call the police. The rain is a nice touch to this movie. It gives atmosphere to this film. At least Harrison Ford's not wasted here. Unlike in Star Wars, they brought him back just to kill him off. Yeah, I know that was his decision, but still, it was a bad decision. Because they brought him back again anyway in Rise of Skywalker as a ghost. Because Jimmy Bennett also was in Hostage, and it was a year before this. This guy, I think, is the only diversity hire in the movie, but I think he's either Hispanic or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't even like winter weather because it's too cold. Last Friday, I couldn't go see Santa because it was like 31 degrees. It felt like 25 degrees. Oh, Alan Arkin, you were such a treasure, man. At least next year I don't have to buy another Blu-ray player like I did this year, because I had to. My old Blu-ray player was busted. I don't gamble either. This has good actors in it. There's not one bad actor in this film. Because in Dial of Destiny, there was at least one. And you know who it was. Or Patrick. He always plays a great villain. But he could also play a decent hero as well. Or anti-hero, like in From Dusk Till Dawn 2. Because the T-1000 is still one of the most iconic villains I've ever seen in any movie. Whether it be sci-fi action or a thriller or horror movie, whatever. Yeah, he's still one of the top 100 greatest villains in American cinema. It really is. If you don't count any, foreign cinema, he's one of the best. Because he's just intimidating with just his face and him running like the Flash. She's cute. She has a big nose, and Josh knows how weak I am to women with those big noses. This would be problematic in a movie today because you know how some people are like, oh no, that's a Weinstein bad touch. No, he's holding her so he could. Yeah, she's so gorgeous. Marilyn Roskub, or look at that nose. Caitlyn being, completely comfortable in her own skin, that's fine with me. Okay? No matter what she does in her career. Whether she's playing a nerdy girl or a secretary or whatever she does. I'm like, she's going to be sexy no matter what. And I know she's going to get a lot of flack for Last of Us season 2, but I don't care, guys. She should have been in the show a lot sooner. I'm just saying. I already know what's going to happen. I never played the games and I know what's going to happen, so. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Plus, this was 2006. Before social media was a thing, was a big thing. I think MySpace was around at that time, but Twitter was not around at the time, or Instagram. Facebook was about to come out, and people were going to use it a few years later. That's why I don't tell people where I am when I'm on Facebook. I don't tell them my location because I don't want people to find me. I don't want that. Let them use their imagination. Some people post all their information on Facebook or Instagram. Don't do it. I never saw 24. I only seen clips from it, but she's sexy, and she never has to take her clothes off. See, I know what sexy is, guys. I met some of these women at Comic-Con. Not her, but plenty of gorgeous women. And I just can't, I get mesmerized. I have to look at something. Virginia Madsen is no spring chicken either, but she's still attractive for her age. I saw her in Dune, even though she played a nothing role as Princess Arulin. She still was less boring than Florence in Dune Part Two. Because Florence is just boring. Her voice bores me to death, man. Thank God she's not in this movie or any other movie I'm doing a podcast for the rest of the year or in 2025. I know Josh had a problem with Haley's in Hawkeye, but I'm sorry. Making mistakes and not being perfect is a lot better than having a worthless accent that you don't even have. So 2 weeks in a day. Gotcha. This really is a good looking film. I forgot that movies could actually look like films and not like digital, art or freaking video game cutscene. You don't need CGI. That's not telling a story. You only use that for animation or if you're doing creatures or something like that. But human beings need to be human beings. Stop de-aging actors that don't need to be aged, guys. Just younger actor to play them. They've done that back in the day. Just saying, the de-aging thing got old after the MCU did it. You don't need to do it in everything. The world's too digital now. Everything has to be a machine and everything has to be pristine and in high def. And I'm like, sometimes it's good to do things old school every now and then. Dell. I remember those commercials. They canceled them a long time ago. Dude, you're getting a Dell? We're 37 minutes in. I know. Yeah, he's doing a cyber heist. Kind of like Die Hard, except they're doing it in the computer uh instead of in a vault. Because Die Hard, there was no internet in 1988, so they had to do it manually. Yep, there's an F-bomb in the movie. One. Because this is a PG-13, but there's still a lot of tension. These poor kids, man. No wonder Carly Schroeder quit acting and did joined the military. She didn't want to do another intense movie like this. This was after she was in the Lizzie McGuire show. That poor kid. It's intense. Because that anything that involves abuse towards children or women, yeah, that's pretty intense for me. It's no laughing matter. But this movie's not toxic. It's giving its point. It gets its point across without being, gratuitous. It's not I spit on their grave, which is just nothing but abuse, and I hate that. I can't stand movies like that. The original or the remake, because that is an Oscar nominated actress, by the way. She's like a blonde Julianne Moore. It's great. I've never hated Virginia Madsen. Even in a bad movie, she is always going to give as much as she can to the role, except in Dune, the '84 film. But she was young back then, so she didn't know that she was gonna be a nothing role, giving exposition. It's not her fault. It's a lot of rain in this movie. intense, man. This reminds me of like Air Force One, which also is a movie where Harrison Ford's family gets abducted by terrorists. That movie's way more violent though, because that's an R-rated movie. This is PG-13. I don't know why they say movies like this are for kids. They're not. PG-13 is not a kids movie, guys. It means that you should pay attention to what's in the movie before you take your children. If your kids are 13, then fine. But if they're under 13, don't take them to a PG-13 movie. You're gonna scar them. One lady brought her kids to Winter Soldier 10 years ago when I saw that in the theater, and she walked out. The scene where Bucky is trying to kill Cap with a knife, yeah, she left. She's like, I can't, my kids can't take this. I'm like, it's not a kid's movie. The Spider-Verse movies are for kids. Moana 2's for kids. Wicked is for kids. Not the MCU and the DCU. They're PG-13 or R in the case of Deadpool and Wolverine. Why do people not pay attention to ratings anymore? Even when I was 13, I saw a lot of movies that I wasn't supposed to. But I always saw it with an adult. We're 41 minutes in, so... Paul Bettany does have nice eyes, though. He has blue eyes. His voice is so calm. It's like he only yells in a couple of scenes, but I get it. He's angry, but he's not overacting like half of the characters in The Force Awakens or Last Jedi. Oh my God, they just half of their dialogue is just screaming, and I'm like, that's not good direction, J.J. Abrams or Rian Johnson. Yelling is not good acting. It's not even theatrical. It's just giving me a headache. Yep, got him. Right in the shoulder. He shot his shoulder. He didn't even shoot his head. He shot his shoulder. Yeah, Willie is dead now. He's sleeping with the fishes now. Even the movie Room is pretty intense. Like some people can't watch it again because of how intense it is. I can watch it because I'm not a parent yet and I'm not a mom. Obviously, I'm a dude. I'm gonna be an uncle next year. But yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, within an hour from now, because the movie's an hour and 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. I've heard. Because sometimes yelling is just it gives me a headache. That's Forbidden Planet. Yeah, that's a classic movie, man. I saw that in the theater. 9 o'clock. Yep, there it is. Bad reception. Mm-hmm. That remote control car came in handy. He saw the movie Home Alone 3 and he's like, oh, I can use this to my advantage. Because that's a big part of the movie for some reason, a race car toy. Smart man. Yep, there's the alarm. You're in trouble now. Even if this was a short film, it still gets the job done. This director knows how to put tension in a movie without it feeling forced. Yep, that's right. You're messing with Han Solo, buddy. So they're going through they're going through the under the basement. You saw they have Twister there. It's pretty intense. The music is really good. If you haven't seen this movie, I would suggest you guys at least stream it. Yep, gotcha. There's a dead body in there. You saw he's using an iPod. 'Is that the guy from Game of Thrones? Yeah, I think it is. This is probably what he did before that show came out. I think it was one of the Lannisters or something like that. 50 minutes in. The Flintstones. I used to watch those cartoons when I was a kid, the Jetsons and the Flintstones. Yeah, but I'm Batman. Yeah, that was funny. And the double toasted review of Batman and Robin. With the Flintstones. No one's watching right now, but it's fine. You guys can see this later. I'm not doing this for the views because, like I said, I'm gonna get to Endgame possibly next year because it's very long and I have to find a copy of it on DVD because I would stream it on Disney Plus, but then being able to see that with no sound is gonna be painful, and I don't want to do that because I want to hear the movie, and I don't have the movie on DVD. I would have to buy it used. Yep, he's lied to him. He, see how sinister he is? And yeah, it's the same scene from Panic Room. See, but with that, I didn't care about Kristen Stewart's character because I'm like, she's diabetic and she has to get a needle. I'm like, what does that have to do with me? It's a good movie. I think the direction is fine and it looks great and the villains are cool, but the two lead actresses I have a problem with. A lot of people had an issue with me saying that, but I'm being honest, guys. Here, I don't have a problem with the cast. I care about Harrison Ford and his family, and I wanted them to get out, and they do. In Panic Room, I'm like, that's a movie that would never happen. Because takes over a building like that? No, it could never happen now. Even with high tech security and with AI, yeah, you couldn't break into someone's home that easily. If it was that easy, this home would have been invaded a long time ago, and it won't. And I've had plenty of animals that were intruding in my house over the years. I had birds in my sister's room. I had a raccoon on the roof, and I had a rat in the kitchen. Again, not my fault. They were digging a hole in the ground, so in this area, so a rat showed up. But it's gone now. And there was just a raccoon the day before Thanksgiving. A raccoon was coming into our garbage because these things smell food from a mile away. I live near a nature park. Of course, there's going to be animals around here. Park animals like squirrels, rabbits, raccoons, possums. You know, little mammals that some of them are going to hibernate for the winter, but not raccoons. Yep. So Forrester is working with him. More rain. Yeah, it rains a lot of this movie, like the 1998 Godzilla movie. Hmm. Again, because he's British, get it? Hmm. He's great. If Harrison Ford tells you to pack up your stuff, he said, leave. Yeah, he is. That man has an intensity in his voice that just I would not want to screw with him. Even at 80 years old, I'm like, yeah. If he tells you get out of here, I'm like, yeah. The man knows how to act, and even in real life, yeah, you don't want to mess with a man like him. Hmm. We're almost an hour in. Yeah, there's no diversity hires. There's some black people in the office, but they're in the background. If this was done today, they would get just a bunch of people from Fast and the Furious that can't act, like side characters that can't act, like that British girl with the afro. Don't need it. Don't need it in a movie like this. It just makes the movie too long. All this just to get money because some people can't earn an honest living on their own. They have to steal from other people. I don't do that. I find money. I don't have to steal it. Mm-hmm. Especially nowadays because AI is everywhere. This is why some places don't have computers. Like some places only take cash because credit cards and debit cards can be scammed. Somebody could steal your information from that. They can't steal your information from a dollar bill, mostly, or coins, unless they get your fingerprints. My hands are sweaty. I have to hold on to this phone. We got about 45 minutes. At least Arkin had a successful career, after this. This is when he won his Oscar, around the time that he got his Oscar nomination for Little Miss Sunshine. That's a good shot. Yeah, there's no CGI in this movie. You know how much I miss movies that are like this? When Folly of Doof has to have CGI, I'm like, why? The first Joker movie didn't have CGI. The Batman did, I get it. It's a spectacle. The scenes where he's flying, or the scene in that Madison Square Garden knockoff place, or with the waves. I get it, at the end of the movie. But with some movies, you just don't need it. Comedies don't need it. Even thrillers don't need it because it just looks terrible. Don't you want to enjoy a film without distracting CGI in the background or in the front? Yeah. Thrillers now are usually on Netflix and they have a big budget, and I don't get why. I don't understand why movies have to look like, they have to cost so much and look so and give us so little when it comes to visuals. Sometimes. I enjoyed Red One, but it could have been a much smaller budget. You didn't need a $200 million budget. This reminds me of the early 90s thrillers that came out. Because it's not really an action movie, it's more of a thriller. Because there's tension and there's an abduction. So it's not Harrison Ford shooting people every 2 minutes. That's not what this is. That's why I wanted to do this. Mm-hmm. The Killing Machine was an action film. Mm-hmm. He's so great, man. I just love Harrison Ford. Watching him act. Watching him act is a joy, no matter what it is. Except in Force Awakens, because he looks like he's trapped in that movie with a bunch of people saying, "That's not how the Force works." Yeah, again. And he doesn't. What did he know? Han Solo never used the Force in his life because he wasn't a Jedi. Terminal 12. Yeah, now with the internet more advanced than it was in 2006, people could hack somebody's account like that. Look at that, $100 million through a phone and a home computer. Mm-hmm. Got the information. If people didn't believe me that there was a rat in my kitchen, yeah, I have video proof on Facebook. Sorry, Bobby Wobby. 65 minutes in. Because an hour and 45 minutes, I miss movies that are that long. Because nowadays, everything has to be 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I'm like, guys, we're not made of time. We only have so much time on this earth we have to spend watching movies, and I don't want to waste too much of it. Especially next year. Because next year is not a leap year. It's just a regular year. It's not a leap year. This is another movie with David Lewis. He's a side character in this. Yeah. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he did this before The Killing Machine, because Killing Machine was 2010, so it was a few years after this. It's a good actor too. He's Canadian. There's a couple of Canadian actors here because I think they filmed it there. Video Security Center. Authorized personnel only. Yeah. Robert Patrick. Yeah. That's why he's not the villain here, because he was doing the Marine, where he's the main villain against John Cena. Smart. A disc. We rarely see that anymore. Because people don't even watch movies on discs anymore. They just stream it on a streaming service or a digital copy or something. Those are good if you're traveling. If you're at home, I like putting a DVD or Blu-ray in every now and then. I'm not getting rid of my Blu-rays, guys. Not this year. Because there's a lot of them I want to get signed at Comic-Con next year. Ashley Johnson's going to be at Comic-Con next year, so I want her to sign my copy of The Avengers. She's the waitress in that movie. I want to get her to sign that. My steelbook of the first Avengers movie. Yep, there's the point. Harrison Ford always has to point at somebody. Why? Because that's his signature, man. He does the finger, the first finger, not the middle finger. He's a boss. I'm telling you, he's a boss. He's older than my dad, but he can still act. I better eat something after this because I'm getting hungry. Yep, he's getting home. Yeah, more rain. I think every scene there's rain except when they're in the office. But again, it doesn't diminish the movie. It's still a very good thriller that I recommend you guys watch at least once if you've never seen it before. Not Ben, Beth. I haven't seen What Lies Beneath. I have to see that with him. 70 minutes. That is the guy from Game of Thrones, yeah. I don't know what his name is. It's like Nikolai something. Yeah, it doesn't say in the back. Yep. Man, that was a pretty brutal hit, man. He hit him with a blender. Yeah, there's some blood in this movie. It's not a PG. It's PG-13, but it does have intense violence in the second half, near the end. Here we go. Bettany kind of disappears until the end of the movie because, again, he was filming something else. I think he was doing the voice for Jarvis in the first Iron Man around that time. Mm-hmm. Hey, Brennan. Yeah, the movie's almost done. We're in the third act of the film where he's looking for his family. It's not over yet. We still got the third act. Seattle, Washington. State, not Washington, D.C. Just pretty intense. Nowadays, they have to make movies like this 2.5 hours. And even John Wick 4, I met Craig Bartlett, the creator of Hey Arnold, at the Nostalgia Con in Houston. That's cool. I met Kurt Fuller at Comic Con and Denise Richards. They signed some of my stuff. Because I know Texas has a lot of cons because it's a big state. Enter the password for the encrypted file. In March 2024 in Comic Con, Louisiana, I met Zachary Gordon and Robert Capron. Oh, the kids from Dire Wimpy Kid. Yeah, Robert Forster's a traitor. I miss him a lot as an actor, but here he's not a good person. And of course he kills Robert Forster. Forster. You can't trust a Brit in a movie like this. They're gonna betray you. He would even shoot his own men. He shot one of his own men earlier in the film. Hold on. Cross my legs because I don't want my feet to fall asleep again. It happened on Friday. I was sitting down and my foot fell asleep. Hey, look, it's the guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He's Coach Malone. He looks like Seth Rogen. Yeah, he's like you know, D-list version of Seth Rogen because he's also Canadian like Seth Rogen. It's garbage day. You know, people don't take taxis anymore because you have Ubers. Ubers and Lyfts that can take you wherever you want to go with the click of a button. It's easier to find car service now, and you don't have to worry about taking a bus or a train as much. I do because I don't have enough to take an Uber. This is a really intense scene. This is more intense than anything she did on 24. Man, this actress must have really trusted Harrison Ford. This is intense, man. This movie, it's one of those thrillers that is like, you know, like Cape Fear, where it's kind of the same thing as Cape Fear, except, you know, that he's torturing the family and he doesn't want money from, you know, wire to him. It's like a more, because it's a more digital version of Cape Fear. I've never seen 24, but after seeing this movie like this again, yeah, I'm probably going to start watching it next year. With Kiefer Sutherland, that's what they know her for. She's never been to Comic-Con, though. Not any Comic-Con I've been to. You are 2 years younger than my mom. Really? Wow. That's cool. My brother's the same. It was born in the same year, 1983. Bobby Wobby. Birthday is October 17, 2003. You're 21 years old? Yeah, so man, I was a teenager in 2003. So a Gen Z. Okay. I'm not. I'm an older millennial. Mm-hmm. So you probably joined my stream because I don't think I've seen you before, Brandon. But everybody's welcome. That it's not spam. So. Because I've seen your videos reviewing movies. Oh, you have. That's cool. Thanks, man. I never seen your comments recently because my videos, I haven't done a review in a couple of days. I was just very congested and I was going out a lot, so I didn't have time. Mm-hmm. 83 minutes in. We got about 20 minutes left. It's a long movie, but it's not too long. Like, I'm not sitting here for 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes. I met Jeff Garcia, voice of Sheen. No, that's cool. Mute this part. I forgot, this is a scene that could have been cut from the movie. That scene could have been cut. This is not a Tyler Perry movie. I forgot about that scene. I was like, what? Mm, 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 mm. This scene could have been cut. He could have given her the phone outside. Why is he playing a guitar in a church? I have no idea. It's a scene that feels really out of place. That's probably the worst scene in the movie because it's not needed. Yeah, that was weird. That's the only scene I would cut out of this movie to make the movie like an hour and 40 minutes. Again, this is not a Tyler Perry movie, I promise you. That's why she went in there and not Harrison Ford. Get it? Because he's Jewish. The airport. Yeah, there's a black woman 85 minutes into the movie. What a man won't go to get his family back, yeah? In Taken, he takes more drastic measures. That's why that movie is almost an R. It's PG-13, but it's even more violent than this movie is. Mm-hmm. Chuck. See, he's screwing with him. You mess with his family, he messes with you. Harrison Ford is a boss. Him and Liam Neeson, man. Exactly. I've been saying, Harrison Ford, he commits, man. There's the cops. See, it's not hard to do a podcast. Just turn on your camera on your phone, press live, and you go. It's not that hard. Some people are just too painfully shy to go on here. Let me drink some water. The rain finally stopped in the movie near the end. 80% of the movie, it rains. There's not a sunny day until like probably the end of the film. I saw the dog. That's very smart. Almost done. 90 minutes. Got about 15 minutes left. Yeah, it's a long movie, but it's not too long. At least I didn't do a 2.5 hour movie. I couldn't sit this long. Let me stand up for a second, because I need to rest my legs. I'm still here, guys. Don't worry. I'm just standing up. Okay, let's sit down again. Okay, I'm going to finish this because I needed to stand up because I was sitting too long. When I see Sonic 3, I know there's a post-credit scene. They're trying to set up the next characters. Biggs the Cat, or Amy, or, there's a Metal Sonic. There's, the Silver Sonic. There's a lot of characters in the Sonic lore. But don't spoil the movie for me next week, because I'm not seeing it next week. I'm getting my surgery, so I'm gonna go see it on Christmas Eve. So do not spoil the Sonic movie for me. Anybody, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on even on my inbox. Don't. Mm-hmm. It's almost done. Don't worry, no animals were harmed in this movie. Yo, don't say it. Don't spray it, dude. These kids can act. They're on a train. They saw there's a train there. One of those Amtrak time trains, not the subway. Yeah, they're in an outhouse in the middle of near the mountains. Yeah, I remember the scene where they have the fight with the pickaxe. Yeah, it's awesome. It's the best scene in the movie. Hmm. Yeah, finally, no rain. It was raining for half the movie. And this thriller never gets there's nothing sexual in it. It's just mostly violent and very tense. There's the dog. Again, no animals were harmed in this movie. If there's a dog, cat, or anything, and no animals were harmed. It's a good dog. Yeah, she's great. She's good in the movie, Mary. I think she does a good job here for the limited screen time she has. And that nose. Yeah, see, I did it. Did I get canceled, Josh? No. I can't. Showing my expressions is not going to get me canceled. It's if I act on it. That's what gets you canceled. That's why these idiots like Justin Roiland and Danny Masterson and all these other guys got canceled. I'll answer her later. Sorry, Alaya, I got to talk to you later. I slept a little bit better. It's just it was too hot up here. I had to shut the heat off. The thermostat was on like 85, and it's not even that cold outside. Today's like 40. This guy looks like Jeremy Sisto. This is intense. At least he escaped. Of course he kills his own men. He doesn't care about them. They're just a ploy. There's only one guy left. It's intense. Yeah, the last 15 minutes rocks in this movie. It's worth it for this third act. Nope. You're no match for a car, buddy. You're no match. Awesome explosion, by the way. And again, this did not cost $200 million, Hollywood. Reduce your budgets to budgets like this, or like Joker, or the first Deadpool. You don't need $200 million. You don't have to have asylum effects, but you don't need a $200 million budget for everything. Some of these budgets are astronomical sometimes. With a movie like this, I'm like, wow, this movie probably cost like about 30 or 40 million, not 140 million, because there's no CGI. The money was well spent to this movie. Yep, he's going on top of the roof like Santa Claus. Yep. Surprise! This is great. This fight scene is really intense. I wish Harrison Ford had a fight scene like this in Dial of Destiny, but he didn't because he's old. He should have punched Phoebe Waller-Bridge in the face. Oh no, that's violence towards women. No, that woman was insufferable. Virginia Madsen and Carly Schroeder can act in this movie, and they play their roles well as the mom and the daughter. You missed, buddy. 99 minutes in, we're almost done. It's a pretty brutal fight. He's so good. Underrated movie, yeah. It is an underrated movie because the critics hated this, and I don't know what they were expecting. This is an Oscar bait, guys. It's an intense thriller, crime thriller, with really good performances by the cast, and it's held up really well after 18 years. Because there's thrillers that come out nowadays that they don't even hold up for a year, much less 18. That's right. Yeah, here it comes. I remember this is one thing I remember from the movie. Yep. The pickaxe. Right in the back. That's awesome. Bye, Vision. That's awesome. That's one of the best deaths in the movie. It's not somebody getting shot. He puts a pickaxe. They had to reduce the violence, so he hit him in the back. Not he didn't chop his head off with it. Because, again, this is a PG-13. Pickaxe. Right in the back. That'll stop your heart. That's the kill I remember in this movie when I first saw this movie in the 2000s. At least he has a happily ever after in this movie, unlike in Force Awakens, where they had to kill off. You never kill off Harrison Ford. It's not something I allow in any film or show. The man is a legend. He's done two of the greatest franchises of all time, and he could give this to Kathleen Kennedy when she's gone. because she's not worth the you know, she's not worth the freaking cells that she's made out of. But I'm glad. Thanks for watching this podcast, guys. The new people here, Brennan and Wansel Pictures. Thanks for the attention. I like to be acknowledged. And there's the movie. Is it over? An hour and 42 minutes. See, and there it goes. It has an ending. And that was the movie Firewall from 2006. Good cast, good acting. You know, really intense movie, and it's underrated and deserves more attention after all these years. And thanks for watching, guys. Acknowledge me like you did today, and hopefully tomorrow I'll do another podcast, probably a documentary. I haven't done one of those in a while. This is a good movie. It's definitely held up after 18 years, so see it if you can. Thanks for watching. Later.